Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips that I have on how to save money. I know that sometimes it's like really hard for us to save money and we have like some plans that we want to achieve, and yeah, so I'm here today to give you a few tips on how to save money. So if you're interested in that, just keep watching. So before I start the video, if you guys don't follow me yet on my Instagram, I'm going to be leaving it right here. And also, if you guys are not subscribed yet to my channel, then just make sure to click that button down below and give it a thumbs up. Yeah, so I'm going to start giving you guys the tips. So I have my phone right here, so like I can kind of read and not get like mixed up with stuff. So if I look down, it's because I'm looking at my phone. So the first tip that I'm going to be giving you is to use your, if you have like a debit card, credit card, I would suggest for you to use your debit card, because sometimes when we use our credit card, we kind of get like, we lose track of how much we're spending. So if you're using your debit card, then it's most likely it's going to be easier for you to keep track of it, you know, like, or just make sure you open your app like multiple times during the week, just so you can see how much you have and if it's not like a negative balance, you know. So that's the first tip I have for you. The second tip that I have for you is set your goals. Like, why do you want to save money? Do you want to save money for a car? Do you want to save money to buy something, to like go somewhere, you know, travel, or maybe to buy a house? Why do you want to save money? You have to have that goal. So when you think about saving money, it's like, it's not just like, oh, I'm just saving money, you know. It's like you have that I'm gonna say that motivation to save that money, and at the end you're gonna have like a reward. So just make sure you set your goals, and yeah, it's gonna be more fun to save money. So the third tip that I have for you guys is think of how much you want to save, and also think of it as a debt. So like if you make $2,000 a month, okay, and you want to save like $4,000 for something, think of like how much money, put it like on the, I usually like to write. So let's say you have expenses, you know, you can put like rent, phone, this and that, and make sure all the things that you need to pay are all like added up, and let's say that adds up to like $1,000, okay? And so you have $1,000 that you have to pay for something, and then $1,000 that you have to save. Obviously you're not gonna put all that thousand to save, because then you have nothing to, like, you know, nothing to have fun with and like just do something that you want, you know, with that money. So let's say you just save half of it. So you're gonna be saving $500 every month, and think of that 500 as a debt. So basically you're gonna have that $1,000 that's for your rent, this and that, and plus you're gonna have that $500 you know, as a debt, because that's what you're saving. So at the end of the month you own $1,500, you know. So that $500 is just like for you to do whatever you want, buy whatever you want. And obviously this is just like an example. Like if you make more and you need to save more, you know, you just have to like see how much you're willing to save. Yeah, so just make sure you think of it as a debt and not like the money that you have in your bank account, because maybe like you already spent all your money and then you want to buy something else and you're like, oh, I still have that $500 that I didn't use. So don't think of it as a money in your account, but just like a money that you already paid. The fourth tip that I have for you guys is be realistic. Like, don't, if you, let's say with the same example as before, as I said, like, don't think of it as if you have $1,000 you know, free, don't think that you're gonna save $900, because you need to be realistic. And are you really gonna be able to like live off $100? Like sometimes even the things that you use for like your hair, or like you need to buy something like different for your house, like something breaks, you need, you know, to replace. So there's like just a little bit, like maybe 2-3 times that you eat out, it's like $100, you know. So just make sure you think of it as like a realistic budget, and not just like, oh, I'm gonna save it, you know. Don't think of it as like a diet that you are like super strict, but then at the end you realize that it's much harder than you thought, and then you just don't do that diet at all. My fifth tip for you guys is don't get influenced by other people. Let's say you have that $500 to spend, and then you're already at like $450 and it's almost the end of the month, and then your friends are like, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and you just have like, let's say $50, and on that, like going out, you're gonna, you know for sure you're gonna spend more than like $50. So have in your mind like you are saving for a reason. So if you go on that, you know, that outing or whatever, you're actually gonna spend more, so you're gonna be in debt, and that's not a good thing to do, you know, when you're trying to save money. So learn how to say no and say, I'm sorry, maybe we can go next month, because then you already have all that $500 back. The next tip that I'm going to give you guys is don't apply for a lot of credit cards. I know that like having more than one, I heard that it's like sometimes it's helpful to have more than one because it helps with your credit and stuff. But if you're not super like, if you don't know how to control yourself and you just like go on a shopping spree or whatever, you're going to be using those credit cards, and it's just gonna add up and add up, and you're not gonna be able to save because you're gonna have so much debt. So basically just don't have a lot of credit cards, because it's harder for you to keep track of it, and how much you're spending. And that goes kind of like on the first tip that I said, like use your debit card and not your credit card, because usually on your credit card you have like a really high like balance, so that makes you like just spend and not just, that makes you like spend a lot and not control how much you're actually spending. And then my last tip for you guys, if you're having problem with like you don't know how much you actually need to spend, or if you're having like a really hard time, try downloading an app, you know, like just pretty much write expense track or something like that, and then you add every single thing that you spend on the like during the month, and just like, you know, you're gonna, usually they give you like you can put in sections like categories, so like groceries or phone or, you know, restaurant. So you're just gonna have that like how much I'm actually spending in each thing, and then at the end of the month you just take a look at it, and maybe you're spending too much on like foods that you buy out, you know, like maybe you just go every day out for lunch, and instead of going out every day for lunch, you can just take food, you know, with you from home. So that way you're gonna be like saving on that, and you can kind of see where you can like cut, and like, oh yeah, I'm spending too much with restaurants, you know, I'm spending too much on, I know, going out. So you just try to like cut a little bit here, cut a little bit there, and I'm sure you guys are gonna do just fine. So yeah, these are all my tips. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you on my next video.